Definitely have the right minds right here on set to give you those whole tips. And this particular morning, discussing matters the age difference. And we're asking you, is age a factor in a relationship? Is age a factor in a relationship? Lemuki was saying the reason why more younger men are rushing for older women is...
And vice versa.
Is poverty. Poverty is the enemy.
Yeah. But I think, Kinyo, we are at a point where there's a lot of evolution when it comes to even cultural norms and beliefs, and also generational evolution. There's this phenomenon that people are #woke now. So do you think that has contributed to us getting into this place that we're having this discussion now? Because I believe like 20 years ago, we wouldn't be discussing someone dating someone who's the age of their dad, or someone, a young person, a young guy dating someone who is the age of their mom or their elder sister. Yeah.
I think is a yes, because we are more exposed now. We are more independent-minded. We are at a place where I think the world has become just one common market. That whatever is trending in Europe, we can access it within a few minutes, a few seconds, and we can catch up with everything. So people have gotten to the place where we are also borrowing much across. Yeah. It has its own good and bad to it of borrowing too much without thinking about it. And that's why we find ourselves at this place. Previously, even as you look at even cross-culture marriages, they were like a no-no for some communities. Yes. And so here we are again, it's a non-issue. And so the age thing that we are talking about is also, we attribute it partly to, I think, the society, the globe just opening up and being one large market. Now, the thing about now the younger men chasing the older women, there's also something that I need to highlight there, that I think the upbringing that we have raised the boy child, and I thank God some people are going to, rescue the boy child, is that the woman has been over-empowered. The girl child is over-empowered from when she was growing up. I think that when we were at our age is when we started having the revolution of, women and the girl child. So the boy child has been suppressed a little bit, and they are now grown-ups and at the place where they're like seeking for help. They need to be heard, but they don't know who has given them the muscle to be heard as men. And so the easy way out for them is to, well, fine, whoever who can support me, who can sponsor me, fine. Values were never really instilled at the point where this is what a man ought to be, this is what is expected of a man. Now, those expectations of a man versus woman are not what society really is carving today. There is a lot of silence. So you realize the boy child is being nurtured by a house girl at the home level because their parents are not there. They join kindergarten. The kindergarten teachers are female, okay? Then they join Sunday school in church. The Sunday school teachers, most of them, 99% are female. So what do they really look up to? This woman who has provided me with wisdom, knowledge, food, feeding me, because the house girl is like the one who is feeding you, but they're not the one providing. And so the boy child comes to the place of being very vulnerable.
All right.
Great.
And I was taking a look at a number of comments on socials. That particular bit, someone says, hey, Morning Cafe, team, great discussion. Kindly ask the team, I am 22, my girlfriend is 26, but she tells me she's okay with the age gap. As a man, should I believe that response? Daniel?
Why shouldn't you, really? That's the first person. She's giving you feedback. And so if she says she's okay, I think take it to the bank. Yeah.
Moving forward, because he was saying 5 years later, things, basically in a relationship, things change. There's the whole fear of moving forward, with time, she might start to, say no.
Again, still going back to the same point, she's still going to be the reference point, right? It's her, and you see, when we're changing, it's not her just changing, it's also me changing in terms of my value systems, the things I like and all that. And so the persons that we have to compare with is just each other, right? And so when certain changes begin to happen, and they will happen, I think just to be able to have that open level of communication, to be able to say, okay, so now a few years back, this is how I saw it, and this is where we are at this point. But up until that point, believe her, okay? Believe her in what she says, believe her in how she acts, believe her in how she, carries herself around you, even around her friends, right? Yeah, but she is the only reference point that you have. And if she says she's okay, she's okay. Yeah.
Great. And Josh, there was something you were mentioning about even life dynamics and whatever someone is going through at a specific point of life. Yeah, like talk of, like, for me now, probably I'm at my prime. I just want to aluta. And yes, now,
Want to or you?
Yeah, aluta.
No, I'm not alutaing. I'm thinking about.
I just
found out the meaning of aluta this week. Aluta kinywa, if you've heard of it.
I have no idea.
Nowadays, people, this young generation is going for sherehe from Friday to Sunday in the morning, and then they actually do the service in those clubs they are at in the morning. Kama mimi naamka 4 a.m. I just get home at 3 a.m. get ready, naoga narudi kazi very fast. It is a luta continua or a luta whatever they're saying. But yes, there's that. So how does life dynamics and whatever a person is going through at a certain phase of their life affect even the longevity of a relationship, whether it's short-term or long-term?
Yeah, thank you. Like we had talked about it, when whoever it is that you are dating, for you to go for maybe a longer time, that also depends on like the interest everyone has. If we sit down at the at the beginning of our relationship and say, this is what I want, then it should not be a problem later in future when as long as you had agreement initially. But then I'll keep going back to my very same point. If you have a choice, I mean, when you're choosing a life partner, have a tick box, like just tick, I want someone who can, this, and if you find someone who is closer to that or at least compatible, then go for them. That also now leaves one with a room to choose whoever it is that they want. So yeah, I also want to join the rest in saying this is a two people affair for sure, and you just have to let them make decisions on their own. But then also I want to leave a room where things might change. And you see, when we say your partner might lose a job, people get jobs.
Right.
Yeah, people can get jobs. But when it comes to a point, things, and when you quoted something like a woman who gave birth at 70, those are rare cases. This is like mostly the things we know scientifically at 45 thereof, but then those are just rare cases. So we cannot just base the whole idea or our whole argument on, because an older person just did this and that. So what about when things change? Will we still be compatible? Are those things that, some things like children especially, are very important aspects of a relationship, and people need to discuss about it. Maybe I need 2, maybe I need 3, and my partner maybe needs 2 or something of the sort. Or you're marrying someone who is older than you and they already have a child. So can we also discuss maybe where maybe I might need to, we might need to get another child or something like that, but leave a room for when things change. Will we still be in a position to be compatible? Like, are these some of the very most important things that we need to maybe factor in first before we enter into this relationship? And I also want to say, whenever, and young men, let me address now the youth of the nation. It is very important for the person that you're going to choose, you actually are ready to be with them for well, people say, maybe later in life, vindu vichenjanga and all that sort of thing. No, I think be patient with your partner. At times when it comes to like this age difference thing, it demands a lot of patience and understanding that my partner bado ako in the prime days, that is very active, needs to be out there. If you are understanding enough to know that I need that, then that would probably survive.
Right.
But then what I wanted to reiterate or say is that it is very important for young men to get into a discussion, a debate before they do anything into like dating and whenever they are doing a relationship, don't do it for the convenience. Do it for the purpose of probably getting you to a marriage. Right. That's why when I'm talking about things that might happen later in life, these are things I would individually as a person consider. That what if this happens in future? Will we still be in like this position? Right. There are things we can, debate about, but then some of them we also need to have a very good agreement at the initial stage of the relationship. Right. And when you are dating, please make it intentional. Don't just date for the convenience and all the money, the bars. Date with intention of probably getting somewhere like marriage.
Yes. Right. And because right now I really want to get your final thoughts.
Right.
But then there's a question here. I think I'll direct this to you, Kinyua. Someone talking about the connection, and just to read that particular question, even I get your final thoughts. Does a relationship with a large age gap difference experience better or poorer connection compared to those in the same age?
Again, it depends with the two parties, the two people involved. The connection can be good when your age difference is small. The connection can be bad if the age difference is big. Bottom line, communication is key, letting the other person know what they need to do, what they can improve on, and they have the open space to accommodate you and to compromise. Right. Because relationships are sustained by communication, compromise, and respect.
Right.
When those three go lacking, then definitely your relationship, regardless of the age gap, will have hiccups and challenges.
Okay.
Yes.
Your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, I think when people start dating and relating, they need not to walk into it with lots of fear. Give some room for what we say will cross the bridge when you get there. There are things that you cannot tell. You cannot tell my capacity to be a mother until we get there. You cannot tell the capacity for me to be able to take care of you when you're at your weakest until we get there. So for us to be able to do life and to enjoy life, we need to do life without fear, too much fear. And I'll give you a good example. When I go to sleep, or when you go to sleep, how sure you will wake up tomorrow?
Not sure.
But you sleep all the same.
Yeah.
That's how we need to do life. Fine, do as much as you can to stay healthy, of course, to be in a good environment and in a good setup, that when you go to bed, you don't go with the fear of, will I wake up tomorrow? Otherwise, you'll never sleep. The same thing, if you walk into a relationship with all these fears of supposing they don't, supposing they change their mind, you will never enjoy life. You'll always be suspicious of every move your partner makes.
Yeah, final thoughts, especially matters age. Set boundaries, internally and externally, right? Externally, in terms of the influence that you get from outside, right? If you allow everything that you hear to dictate your relationship, you're done, right? Internally, you set boundaries in terms of, who does what despite the age. Okay, you provide this, I provide that.
Yeah.
And when you have clear boundaries, then you know where you're operating. Yes. Anything that does not have boundaries is bound to, people are bound to abuse it. So those would be my final remarks. Yeah.
Josh?
My final point too would be, let there be open communication in all relationships. And as much as you're minimizing the expectations, also please have the things that you want against the thing your partner wants, and then you can reach at an equilibrium. That way, regardless of the age difference, I think the relationship will survive. But when you just enter with the one idea, money or the buzz only, if you enter into that relationship with that idea, I think it's not going to last long. So for a long-lasting relationship, people need not only to communicate, but also to be in a position where they understand one another, respect one another. And like he said, that point of discussing and agreeing to the mutuality per se. So let people get into relationship with a goal of this is what I want in future. And that way, when you discuss with your partner, you'll get a center of equilibrium and where you can all arrive at one point. And that way, like I've said, I also want to repeat this as my final remark now.
Okay.
You have a choice. You have a choice to enjoy life, yes. And you also have, and this choice, there are two choices. There's a very, rough road and a short one, well, a smooth one. If you have a choice in this life, please go for that which will make you not have a lot of struggles in relationship.
All right, asante sana. Joshua Masia, life coach, Elizabeth Kenyo, life coach and social worker, as well as Daniel Kamau Njiro, mental health practitioner. As we discuss matters, age is just a number. Okay, hope you're still writing notes.
Yeah, I've taken notes, at least from Kenya's words I can see. Be 5 and 10, it's not bad. We can work with between 5 to 10.
Right.
Yeah, but as long as you're happy, man.
Thank you very much for making time and having this particular conversation. I hope back at home we may learn a lot on this, and at ukitafuta mpoa, you can definitely pick a lot from all this. So we want to take you to Nakuru, where our very own Chichi Josephine is. Now on a whole, kind of a different kind of conversation when it comes to matters, the whole the National Dialogue Committee report that was tabled